Imagine waking up to the warm desert sun, the Nile River stretching out beside you, and the distant sound of workers hammering and the chatter of bustling markets. This was daily life in ancient Egypt, one of the world's most fascinating and enduring civilizations. But what made life back then so unique? And how did ordinary people live amidst the grandeur of pharaohs and pyramids? Let's take a journey back thousands of years to explore what it was really like to live in ancient Egypt. First, it's impossible to understand ancient Egyptian life without the Nile. This mighty river wasn't just a water source, it was the lifeblood of society. Its regular floods brought fertile soil that made farming possible in an otherwise arid land. Imagine farmers preparing their fields, planting barley and wheat, their lives closely tied to the river's ebb and flow. The Nile was so critical that they even had a festival to celebrate the floodwaters each year, hoping for a good harvest. People in ancient Egypt lived in small villages and towns scattered along the Nile's banks. Most were farmers, but there were also skilled craftsmen, traders, and scribes. Each had a role, working in harmony to keep society running. Imagine a craftsman carefully carving statues or jewelry, using copper tools that seem simple now, but were cutting edge then. The social structure was quite rigid. Pharaohs sat at the top as living gods, believed to be the bridge between humans and the divine. Below them were nobles and priests, then scribes who kept records, followed by artisans and farmers. Despite this hierarchy, family and community ties were strong. People celebrated together, worked together, and supported each other through festivals, religious ceremonies, and everyday tasks. Homes were made of mud bricks, with flat roofs where families often gathered during warm evenings. The interiors were simple but personal mud floors, reed mats, and pottery for everyday use. Cooking was done over open fires, often with ingredients like bread, onions, dates, and fish from the Nile. Meat was a luxury, eaten mostly during special occasions. Children helped with chores and learned trades early, while education was mostly reserved for boys of wealthier families. Girls typically learned skills from their mothers, focusing on household management. Still, stories and lessons about gods, kings, and nature surrounded all children, passing down culture through generations. Religion saturates every aspect of ancient Egyptian life, not just temples and grand ceremonies, but daily acts. People believed that gods controlled everything: the sun's path, the flood's predictability, even their own health. Offerings to gods were common, from small household shrines to massive state temples. And there was a deep, almost poetic belief in the afterlife. Egyptians prepared meticulously for what came after death, building tombs stocked with food, treasures, and texts filled with prayers and spells. The idea that life continued beyond death shaped how they lived, honoring ancestors, following moral codes, and striving to leave a positive legacy. Ancient Egypt was a place of dazzling creativity. Look around: beautiful paintings and intricate jewelry. Music and dance were part of celebrations and rituals, with musicians playing harps and flutes while singers chanted. Writing in hieroglyphs may seem mysterious now, but back then it was a powerful tool to communicate everything from religious texts to legal documents. Skilled scribes held a special place in society because they kept the records that helped Egypt thrive for centuries. When we think of ancient Egypt, it's easy to picture dusty deserts and endless pyramids. But the real picture is much richer. A world where humans lived close to nature's rhythms, where faith infused daily routines, and where communities found balance amid challenges of the time. It was a civilization that shaped much of the world's history, and whose spirit still invites us to wonder and learn. Ancient Egypt was not just about monuments and myths. It was a living, breathing society where ordinary people worked, worshipped, loved, and strived. Their stories remind us how connected we are across time and inspire us to appreciate the richness of human history. Thanks for joining me on this glimpse into ancient Egyptian life. Here's to many more journeys into the past together. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments.